behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Palm Mash TV. Palm Mash TV.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. Another great interview is coming up shortly, but before we begin, don't forget about the subscribe button and the bell buttons below you there, and you'll always be notified of any new episodes coming your way. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the comment section below, go ahead and do that. We'd love to hear from you there. And feel free to check out the description part as well as the closing credit part, because we'll have contact info for you, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. From London, England today, we have Mark Storey, very awesome artist. I think you're going to agree. And we'll get to that in a minute, but of course we have a quick word from the Caden Gordon Show, so don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
It is Caden from the Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. Check out my show at thecadengordonshow.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from London, England today, we have Mark Storey. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's always happy to have artists like yourself on my show. Well, how did it begin for you? I mean, I'm sure that you always wanted to be an artist since you were a little kid. Maybe you grew up in a musical family. Maybe you fell into it. I mean, everyone has their own story. Go ahead and tell us your story about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, I was brought up in a time when if you played music in a band, it was considered a magical power that mere humans could not do, So I kind of went around every possible avenue other than being in a band. So I did a lot of photography for bands. I did some album covers for bands. I wrote reviews. I wrote album reviews. And eventually I formed a band. I got a band together, and that was about, we've been in the 80s. But yeah, I've been in and out of bands over the years. I've taken a break from it. I've come back to it. Life sometimes gets in the way of that, like having a family. There wasn't really room to do both. But yeah, this is like kind of, this is the time I feel most confident, with what I'm doing, which is why I've got this new album out. So, it's I just feel really, really confident about it. Maybe it's my time, I don't know, but yeah, it's feeling really good.
Okay, well, that's a great story. I'm glad that you're still doing the music thing, and maybe you still have a few more years left in you. And
I hope so. The clock is ticking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what were some of the artists that you grew up with that really helped influence you? I mean, I'm sure there's a few legends that come to mind.
Oh yeah, I can answer that question straight away. It was 1972, because I'm marching on a bit now. And I was about 14, and I don't know if you've heard of this program over here in the UK. It's not on the air anymore. It's called Top of the Pops. It was like a chart show, and it was during the glam glitter rock movement of that time, and I was listening to bands like Slade and The Sweet, and nothing was really, really doing it for me, but it was available and I liked it, but I wasn't mad about it. And then one particular Thursday in 1972, I turned on Top of the Pops, and the DJ introduced Alice Cooper doing Schools Out. And that was the light bulb moment for me, because he's been one of my biggest influences ever, all through, even now. I saw that, and it was like, he just looked great. The band were great, and I just immersed myself into his music, and I didn't tend to follow trends. I didn't go for the obvious bands like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and Deep Purple. I wanted a kind of something that was more in keeping with my time. But what I did by discovering Alice Cooper, it then led me into the avenues of bands like Iggy and the Stooges, MC5, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, bands like that. So I got a big love for the Detroit rock scene from that time. Bob Seger, you name it, you know. So that was the thing that really set me on fire, was that dirty Detroit guitar sound. And I didn't realize it at the time, straight away. I didn't quite get it at the time, but eventually I joined all the dots with all these bands, and they were all from Detroit, or they were all like really big in Detroit. So that was like my main influence through the years. And I also liked a lot of blues and kind of like heavy blues, So I mean, I've listened to a lot of bands over the years, but those are my roots. So what I do with the music I've got now is a combination of that kind of, well, I hope so. The sound I'm going through is a kind of a Detroit meets Chicago blues, rhythm and blues sound, and that's my thing, and that's what I do.
Okay, yeah. Alice Cooper, yeah, he was indeed a legend, as I mentioned earlier, and
Yeah.
like I said, "School's Out" and all those other songs that he had, he was really great there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And some of the others you mentioned as well were great bands. Now, people may want a little bit more about you, or know a little bit more about you. Tell everybody where we can find you. I'm sure you're on social media, streaming media, and have an official web address, so forth. I mean, tell everybody about that.
Okay, so I tend to go under the moniker of Mark Storey Music. So if you go on YouTube, you'll find Mark Storey Music on there, and that's got all my videos. I'm on Instagram, Mark Storey Music. I'm on TikTok, Mark Storey Music, and on Facebook as Mark Storey Music. So it's easy to find. There is a couple of other Mark Stories out there, as I found out when I got this message from someone, and they contacted me and they went, "I've just listened to your music on YouTube and I really love it." And I'm, wow, thank you very much. Like you really touch me with your music. I went, okay, that's great. And they went, like, you're just so melodic, and I love the gentleness of your music. And I'm like, well, that's not me, And they had the wrong guy. They had another guy called Mark Storey who plays like kind of ballads, Anyway, I'm easy to find because the beard is there and the hat is always there, and what I mean. So you go Mark Storey Music and up I pop, and there's all my original videos on there for my original songs, and quite a few covers as well. I like doing covers and mixing them up, making them a bit different. I take the mick a little bit, like that's, if you know what I mean by that. Like, I kind of take with a song, for example, "Heartbreak Hotel" by Elvis Presley. I was just jamming my guitar one day, just playing a basic blues kind of thing, just jamming, and started singing the lyrics to "Heartbreak Hotel," and I turned it into this slow bluesy, to take a song and kind of give my spin on it when I'm doing a cover, So yeah, that's but that's where you can find me. I'm all over social media and on Spotify now. Hooray! Finally. It's been a while, but I finally got my music on Spotify. All that's on there at the moment is the single "Bohemian Moonshine." The new single, "A Moment of Zen," will be out tomorrow, and the album's out on Halloween.
Oh, okay. Well, check him out, Spotify and all the other sites he mentioned to you. I know he's really love that. And that is actually the song we're going to be playing, "Bohemian Moonshine." Tell us a little story about that song. I'm sure it has quite a story behind it.
It does. Right. So I've got a few guitars, in my collection, and it was one Christmas, and my stepchildren bought me this Christmas present. When I opened it up, it was a guitar by a company called Bohemian, and they make guitars out of oil cans. So they put a neck on an oil can, yeah. And they gave me this present. I opened it up and I looked at it and I thought, what the hell is this? I thought it was a gimmick until I plugged it in, and it was great. So I liked it so much that I saw another model they'd done called the Bohemian Moonshine, which you can see in the video. And I bought it, I plugged it in, and I just started getting into slide guitar a lot. So I tuned it to open G, and I started jamming on it, and I came up with the riff for Bohemian Moonshine. And I liked the title of the guitar, or the name of the guitar, so much. I thought that would be a really good title for a song, because it doesn't really make sense, if you know what I mean, but it kind of does. But I didn't want to write a song that was about my guitar. Oh, this is my guitar. You know, I'm writing a song about it. So if you listen to the lyrics, it could be a love song about your partner. You know, it's all lines like feel your body close to me. I really love your dirty rhythm. Slide my hands up and down your neck. It's all like, it'll double entendre, but it was inspired by the Bohemian guitar. The Bohemian Moonshine guitar. They are fantastic guitars, and people tend to notice me because of them. They're quite intrigued by these guitars I play, you know, because they're weird looking, you know. I mean, there's a lot of cigar box guitars out there and stuff like that, and hubcap guitars. And I know a guy that plays a shovel, you know. But yeah, the Bohemian guitars, they're a bit special. I'm not even sure if they make them anymore. I don't think the company even makes them anymore. But I've got 3 of them now. I've got the Oil Can, the Moonshine, and one called I think it's called the Hot Sauce. But that's enough of them now. But I can't, you know, so yeah, I've got them all in my studio, and they'll tuned to various things, and depending on the song, I'll play slide with them.
Okay,
well, that's the story behind Bohemian Moonshine.
Yeah. Yeah, that is quite a story there, and I love this song, and I know you guys out there are going to love it too, and we'll get to that in just a second. But Mark, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Maybe one day you can come on and plug something new for us if you'd like.
Sure. I mean, the album's out on the 31st. As I said, and the single's 31st of October on Halloween. It's called Dark Voodoo Magic. There's 10 tracks. I wrote them all myself. I play everything on the album. I produce the album. I design the album cover art. I do my own videos. I do everything myself. So I play the blues harp, play the guitars, play the bass, so on. The only outside influence on it was, you may have heard of him, a guy called Joey Stuckey. He's from Georgia, Macon in Georgia. He's a really good friend of mine. I mean, we're very close friends. And he mastered it for me. And that was the only outside influence. Other than that, it's all me, you know. So I stand and fall completely on what I put out, because there's no one else to blame other than myself.
All righty. Well, let's get right to Bohemian Moonshine, and it begins right here, right now.
Yeah. bohemian. Moonshine send me, moonshine blind, moonshine baby. Give me that bohemian. Moonshine send me, moonshine blind, moonshine